Hello friends at Filmtheater Voorschoten. My name is Mark Cousins and I wrote and directed the story of film. I'm very happy to hear that you will be watching the story of film over the coming weeks and trying to share some of the passion for movies. I'm talking to you from Edinburgh in Scotland, and this is my edit suite where we are now, showing you around it. And this is where I have, I'd say, lots of my thoughts about cinema. This is where I do my thinking. It's a bit like feeling a bit inside my brain. I wrote the book, The Story of Film, 14 years ago now. I think I was passionate about cinema, but I was also angry. I was angry because film history was made by people like me, white, middle-aged guys, and in fact it was leaving out so much cinema. And so I had been looking at films by people like this. I'm going to show you here. See that guy? Ousmane Sembène, a great African director. And I had been watching films like these. These are my Indian films, Mausam, etc. Chinese films, etc. So I had been watching lots of great stuff and it wasn't appearing in film history. So I decided to write a book trying to tell a proper history of cinema. So the first thing I did was, this is the notes that I had for the book I was writing. So you probably can't read here, but that says silent cinema, technical thrill of early cinema. This is typical of the way I worked when I was writing the book. I made big charts of different chapters and sections. So I made the book, I wrote the book, and I sat at this table here, like that, and the book came out, and here's what it looked like. And it was published around the world, which was great, and people felt that they were seeing a sort of broader history of cinema, I think, than they normally see. Anyway, then we decided rather sillily to try and make a film of the book. We thought it would be 6 hours long. It turned into 15.5 hours long. And what we did first of all was gather lots of films, about 1,000 films, the films that I wanted to appear in the book, and then I travelled the world looking at film archives, etc. These gloves, do you see these gloves here? These are the gloves I used in the Ingmar Bergman archive in Sweden. They allowed me to touch the original scripts and manuscripts and papers of one of the world's greatest filmmakers, Ingmar Bergman. So I travelled a lot and filmed the story of film, and then we came to edit it. And we edited it, as I say, here on this table, on that edit suite. Here, this is a bizarre thing here. This is a big long piece of paper, as you can see. It's very old now. And this was the edit list. This was the running order of the 15-hour film. So if we go in here, it says Part 6, The Swollen Story, International Melodrama. And so this is how my editor Timo Langer and I kept in touch with where we were in the story. This big piece of paper was actually hung on the back of this door, like that, and that's where we edited. And then it became a film, and it came out, and that's what it looked like when it came out on a box set. And it was a lot of work. It was 6 years, but I loved it, really loved it. And when I think to myself, why did I make the story of film? It's for this. I'm going to try and show you something here. Here's a strip of film, and I don't know if you can see really close to it. It's probably out of focus, but this is me. This is me laying flowers on the grave of the great comedian Buster Keaton. And there I am. There, you can't quite see it. But why did I lay flowers in the grave of Buster Keaton? Because of the passion for cinema, because of my love of cinema, a love that I hope will communicate to you when you watch the story of film. So I'd like to say thank you for watching, and I've written thank you on my arm, so maybe you can read it. Can you read that? I hope you can.